Wow. So a little bit of a surprise here. The Indianapolis Colts, according to Ian Rappaport, Shane Steichen, Indianapolis Colts head coach, announces that the team is going back to Anthony Richardson on Sunday and for the rest of the season. Joe Flacco back to the bench. So, an about face from where they were just 2 days ago. So, guys, yeah, I mean, Shane Steichen was pretty adamant a couple days ago that the Colts were going to stick with Joe Flacco. And obviously, we know all the crap that, the Colts have gotten, not just from the fans, but from the national media. Everybody seemed to understand like that was not the correct move. Joe Flacco has looked terrible the last 2 weeks. So, I mean, yeah, guys, obviously, my stance, our stance when it comes to, the Colts decision, how they've kind of handled the Anthony Richardson situation. We've heard different rumblings about, AR, even from his side, not being necessarily the first guy, potentially even one of the last guys entering the building, one of the first guys leaving, all that kind of stuff in terms of his professionalism. That's all kind of been, out there for a lot of people to see. And, a lot of people were confused why the Colts were doing it. And we were kind of thinking, okay, if this is just a multiple week, 1 to 2 week type of thing, like I completely understand it. If Anthony Richardson's not acting in a professional way on and off the field the way that he needs to be doing, then okay, send him a message. Totally understand that. But it just made no sense from, moving past that to the regular season, the rest of the regular season. It just really didn't make a whole lot of sense for Indy to go that direction. So it was a little bit confusing, but, contrary to what Steichen said, and he was pretty adamant, like I said, he's like, until I say Joe Flacco's our guy, and now a couple days later to kind of completely turn and go the opposite direction, going back to Anthony Richardson. I mean, obviously, I'm excited about that. I'm thankful that the Colts have come to their senses, but yeah, I don't know right now, because the Colts were so much talking about how Joe gives them the best chance to win. Like, what is the direction here of this team? I mean, I don't know. It's pretty apparent the Colts have realized they are not going to be a team that's going to be competitive this year, which I could have told you that when they decided to go with Joe Flacco in the first place. But when I kind of look at it overall, guys, I think this is the right move. I mean, I think at this point, if you're going to be bad with a young quarterback. Let him learn, let him grow, and just kind of move forward from there. And that's kind of what I think it needs to be. And, if he's not the guy, he's not the guy. But at least right? That's kind of the thing is like, if he's not the guy, he looks terrible, he hasn't learned anything from the start of this season, okay, then you can start having conversations about the future of the quarterback position moving forward. But again, this guy started only 10 games. So you really don't know fully. He hasn't even had a full season of starting games yet. So I think this was the right move. If you're going to be bad, don't be bad and old at the quarterback position. So I think this is the right move. Anthony Richardson, 22 years old, and hopefully this message resonated with AR, and hopefully it's something that now moving forward, he looks at it and says, all right, now I know what I can and can't do. Again, some people will argue, well, shouldn't you know that? But of course, if he's not told, how is he supposed to know some of these things? But when it comes to this decision, I have to say my initial reaction is this is the right move for the Colts. If you're going to be bad, but at least this guy gives you some things you didn't have with Joe Flacco, the ability, obviously, to throw the ball down the field on a consistent basis, the ability to escape. Yes, there still are questions on inaccuracy and things like that. But again, Joe Flacco was having similar, if not worse, issues. So, I mean, at this point, go with the young gun, see what you have. And if it's something where you view it and you come back and say, yeah, he's clearly not the guy, and you kind of know that, then so be it. You draft a quarterback this year or you ride it out next year and kind of move forward. I mean, you have a lot of decisions here, but at least kind of get a definitive thing here on kind of the future of this position. I mean, we talked about it. The Colts have been kind of kicking the can down the road, going back in this quarterback carousel for far too long. So I'm glad they kind of came to their senses here. Shane Steichen obviously saying, this is my decision. I talked with Chris. I talked with Jim. This is my decision. So good on Shane Steichen potentially correcting this and going back to the young guy. And I guess we'll kind of see what happens moving forward. But guys, yeah, Anthony Richardson named the starter on Sunday and moving forward. So we'll see what happens here for the Indianapolis Colts, Anthony Richardson. But definitely a little bit more excited for this game to see how Anthony Richardson responds after sitting 2 straight games. But let me know your guys' thoughts overall in the comments down below. But guys, that'll do it for this one. Thanks so much. If you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, all that good stuff. We're continuing to grow this channel, so be sure to do that, guys. But that'll do it for this one. Thanks so much. And as always, guys, go Colts.